Hi, and welcome back to this Monday edition of Focal Point on AFR Talk. Brian Fisher is my name. We're going to get to all this NSA stuff, this National Security Agency, and their monitoring, literally, of every single bit of our communication, whether they're emails, whether they are phone conversations, whether they're video chats on Skype, whether they are photos that we have put on our Facebook page, whether they're videos that we have posted on our Facebook page, every last little bit of that has been collected by President Obama and his administration. And so we want to talk about some of the implications of that. We got some sound bites that we'll play for you. Before we jump into some of that, you may be aware that today is the day that the Senate is taking up the immigration bill, the Marco Rubio amnesty bill, which, you've heard me talk about this before. This bill is an absolute travesty. It's a monstrosity. The Heritage Foundation has indicated that this thing is going to set us back $6.3 trillion if it goes into effect. That will be the overall impact on the national debt, $6.3 trillion. Now, what is suicidal here is that Republicans are for this thing. You know, Bill Maher said on his program, he's a hardcore leftist, and I just want to, let's go ahead and play the Bill Maher quote then. This is a clip from Bill Maher's program where they're talking about this immigration deal. You know, and there's a whole bunch of issues. This is actually, to me, this is the least significant of all of the issues that are a part of the debate over illegal aliens and immigration. But if you're a Republican, this at least ought to be on your radar screen, because this is absolutely suicidal for the Republican Party. So if somebody's in the Republican Party and they're looking at this immigration bill, they should be absolutely aghast that John McCain and Marco Rubio and Lindsey Graham and Jeff Flake of Arizona are for this thing, because it will be the end of the Republican Party. If this immigration bill passes, it goes into law, the Republicans will never win another national election until the end of time. America will become California. You know, California is a one-party state. You got Republicans, they got the label, but they got no juice, they've got no power, they can't get elected. You know, they can't get elected to waste management positions in the state of California. So, setting aside everything else, it is sheer folly for any Republican, whether his name is Marco Rubio or not, to be for this thing. It's a kamikaze mission. It is a suicide mission. They might as well strap a suicide vest to the GOP party and blow themselves up, because they will have no place on the political landscape nationally from the moment that this bill goes into law. Now, here's Bill Maher, and he's talking here with Ana Navarro. Ana Navarro is one of these Naugahyde Republicans, fake leather, fake elephant leather, fake rhinoceros leather. She's a Naugahyde Republican. She was the Hispanic strategist for John McCain in 2008. She was the one whose job was to sell John McCain to Hispanics. Now, that should have been the easiest task in the world, because John McCain was the original Mr. Amnesty before Marco Rubio came along and stole his crown. He authored the 2007 amnesty bill, and we had to fight that thing off because it was a perfectly horrible piece of legislation. This one is worse. This legislation is worse than the 2007 bill. The 2007 bill required border security to be established first, not a plan for border security. You actually had to have border security in place before anything else got kicked in. This bill does legalization first and then worries about border security. And the only requirement in this plan is that Janet Napolitano come up with a plan for border security. She doesn't even have to secure the border. All she has to do is come up with a plan in 6 months to secure the border. Then she's got 5 years to implement that plan. If after 5 years the plan has not been implemented, then a commission will be formed. This commission will include border governors. This commission has no authority, zero, zip, nada. All this commission can do is make recommendations to Congress. And then after 10 years, if the border is not still secure, then they won't make these people citizens. I mean, it's just an absolute joke. The only security requirements in this bill are a plan, no actual border security whatsoever. At least the 2000 bill had that. 2007 bill had that. 2007 bill also required you to leave the country if you wanted to become a citizen of the United States. This one doesn't do that. You stay right in place, and you are instantly legalized, automatically, not automatically, but instantaneously legalized, and you never have to leave the country, and you have the guarantee that you never will. So the Republicans have somehow convinced themselves that Hispanic immigrants in particular, Hispanic illegal aliens, are Republicans in waiting. That's a complete farce. It's a total sham. 75% of Hispanic immigrants to the United States believe in bigger government. They believe in government programs. They believe in welfare. That's part of what draws them to the United States. We're bigger and richer than Mexico or Central American countries. So the United States has more goodies to give to people that are on welfare. And they believe that that's government's job. They believe it's the job of government to hand out goodies and benefits to people like themselves. So that's why they come. I mean, who can blame them? It's a huge magnet. You can't blame them because we're adopting these foolish policies to subsidize the irresponsibility of millions and millions and millions of Americans. So anyway, 75% of Hispanic immigrants, they want bigger government. They are never, ever going to vote Republican, period. Not the rest of their lives. Now, you still have some that will vote Republican. 71% in the last election voted for Obama. That means 29% voted for Mitt Romney. So you still are going to get some Hispanic votes, but that's like a 3-to-1 margin. So for every 3 Democrats who are newly legalized, well, let's put it this way, every 3 illegal aliens that are legalized, let me start over. My team is laughing at me out there. I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. For every 4 illegal aliens that are newly legalized, 3 of them are going to vote Democrat. 1 might possibly vote Republican. So you are being outstripped 3-to-1. You're losing 3 votes for every vote that you gain. And you're adding 12 million people potentially to the voting rolls. 9 million of them are going to vote Democrat. 3 million are going to vote Republican. That's 6 million votes that you will never, ever see again the rest of your life. It's just insanity for any Republican to support this, even if it was the right thing to do. If it was the right thing to do, then I would be for it, regardless of the impact on either political party, regardless of the impact on the Republican Party. If it was the right thing to do, I would be for it. But it's not only the wrong thing to do, it's suicidal for Republicans. And Bill Maher, in this conversation with Anna Navarro, remember, she's the one, she had McCain to campaign on. She could go to the Hispanics and say, look, hey, here's your guy. He believes in amnesty. He wants you to be instantly legalized and all that. So she had the perfect candidate if the moderates and the evangelical immigration table, if they're right, then she had the perfect candidate to offer to Hispanics. It did not work. They overwhelmingly voted for Barack Obama. So here's Bill Maher talking with Anna Navarro. And later in the conversation, Kevin Williamson from the National Review jumps into the conversation. Let's listen.
I think they don't want the votes because, you know what, they know if they're going to take 11 million people and make them citizens and allow them to vote, they're just creating more Democrats. The Latinos, who are mostly young Trumps at all, they hate the Republicans. They did a survey this week.
Okay, now you are agreeing with Ann Coulter. So at this point,
I'm agreeing with facts. They did a study. Wait. They did a study this week. Young people. This is the college Republicans. They wanted to find out. These were people who voted for Obama who they could win back. They wanted to know how they felt about the Republicans. These are the words. closed-minded, racist, rigid, old-fashioned. That's what young people think of Republicans, probably because they're closed-minded, racist, rigid, and old-fashioned.
Listen, let's go back to the point about legalizing 11 million means 11 million Democrats. As the only Latino on the panel, I'd like to opine on this. I'm a Republican Latino. We are not lemmies. We are people. We don't follow just blindly. We have opinions. And I think, and here's, let me just say this.
71% voted for Obama.
Because who were they going to vote for? Mitt Romney, who wanted to self-deport?
And who are you gonna put up next time that they're gonna like better?
Oh, almost anybody.
Well, how much luck did you have bringing him up from McCain?
I mean, almost anybody. But listen,
I appreciate
we have absolutely no choice because we lose if we don't. Our only choice is to try to get this done and then work very hard to recover some of that Hispanic vote. It's not going to happen overnight, and it's just not going to happen because of an immigration bill. But we have no choice as Republicans.
It's a lot of wishful thinking. I mean, you didn't have very good luck getting them to come out and vote for McCain either. You were in charge of that, right?
Yes.
So in your experience told you what? That Latino voters aren't going to come and vote for Republicans, even a moderate guy, moderate like John McCain.
So that's Kevin Williamson from National Review just pointing out the obvious. Look, you had the perfect candidate. You know, the consultants always tell us you got to run moderates. You got to run candidates that are somewhere in the center, like a John McCain. That's the ticket to success. How did that work out in 2008? Got hosed. Mitt Romney, centrist, a moderate, got hosed in 2012. So Bill Maher, smart enough to say, hey, look, if this amnesty bill goes through, that's just a pile of new Democrat voters. Now, Barack Obama is out there saying that the immigration bill, this amnesty bill, is going to require illegals to learn English. Not so. This, a piece by Matthew Boyle on Breitbart.com. As Breitbart News has previously pointed out, when illegal immigrants apply for registered provisional immigrant status under the bill, the first step in legalization, they do not need to demonstrate that they can speak English. When they apply for renewal of their RPI status, they still do not need to prove they can speak English. Only when illegal immigrants apply for their legal permanent resident status or green card would they be required to demonstrate their ability to speak English or prove that they are currently enrolled in a course to achieve an understanding of English and knowledge. So don't let anybody lie to you. They do not have to learn English to become legalized. Focal Point AFR Talk.